Welcome back. I'm Gary Goldman. I'm the host of the Five Star Food Show. Today we're at Gray, and Gray, a fabulous accounting firm, and we're being joined by Frank McLaughlin, who's he's one of the directors here. And welcome aboard, Frank.
Yep, appreciate it, and glad you guys could come in and share the day.
It's been a wonderful time, and thank you again. Anyways, we're being joined by a very interesting guest, Rosamond Lu from Tom's Bao Bao, who's going to tell us about her 2 restaurants. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, why don't you tell us about what Bao Baos are?
Yeah, so baozi, or called bao bao, we use a term of endearment because baozi is very difficult for most people to pronounce. So it's a steam bun, or we call it bao or baozi, or it's been around since 1200 years ago in China. It's a wheat-based dough wrapped with many different fillings, sweet, savory, you name it.
And so if I go into, you said you had a shop in Harvard Square that you recently opened, and you have another restaurant also, right? Is that correct?
Yes. At the moment, we have 2 locations in the U.S.
Okay.
One in Harvard Square and another in downtown Providence.
Okay, so how would the whole process work? I would sit down. What would I see on the menu? What kinds of things?
Yeah, so we focus on steam buns. So you will see mostly buns on the menu, as well as some noodle salad offering for the summer, and drinks. Before you walk to our cash register, you will see our baos. We call them artists of making baos.
Okay.
Making fresh baos from scratch. So you will see the whole process. The entire kitchen is transparent.
Yeah, and you were explaining to me earlier that it's quite an elaborate process actually making it. Can you explain how they actually made it?
Sure. So it's a water-based dough. We mix special medium gluten red wheat flour and with just water and yeast, and we mix it, sheet it, and we roll them and cut them into equal sized pieces by hand, and then roll them out to perfect round skins, and wrap different delicious filling with it by hand. And then we steam them in bamboo baskets made handmade in a small village in China. So
Sounds fantastic. Anyways, Frank McLaughlin, who's a director here with Gray, and Gray, is very interested in controls and the financial responsibility of a restaurant. How do you keep control of things there, having 2 restaurants at a time? And how do you have a lot of things that go into these bao baos. How do you keep track of all those costs?
So because we want to keep the qualities very consistent and high, we make all our fillings in our central commissary. So we will source as much as possible locally, ingredients such as fresh bok choy, mushroom, and seasonal ingredients like New England lobster and so on. And we make all the fillings by our own team in Rhode Island. So we have a very good handle on our food costs.
Right. And Rosamond, just to take a step back here, tell us a little bit of the story of Tom's Bao Bao. I mean, there's 2 locations here in the United States, but talk to us about, a little bit of the history, and I think one of your locations is coming up on a pretty big anniversary, correct?
Yes. Tomorrow will be our first anniversary of our Harvard Square store.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you. We've been very welcomed into the community, and we're just very happy to be part of Cambridge and the Boston community beyond. So you're all very welcome to celebrate with us tomorrow. Stepping back and talking about the little bit of history behind Tom's Bao Bao. So there is actually Tom, and Tom is based in China mostly. He started a chain of steam bun stores in China called Gan Qi Shi in 2009. So we have about 200 locations, company owned directly, in Hangzhou, Suzhou, and Shanghai.
And then you
And,
decided to take it over to the States and try the concept out.
Yeah, so when Tom came to visit the States and about 2.5 years ago, he discovered there isn't any fresh, authentic bao in the area. So he's decided to expand to the area. And we were introduced by mutual friends, and the rest was history.